We are looking at top 50 HTML interview questions and answers. First is, what is HTML? What is the simplest HTML page? And what is a hypertext link? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the short of this Hypertext Markup Language, and this is the language of the WWW, that is World Wide Web. And this is a standard text formatting language. In essentiality, it is just a text formatting language by which you can create and display the web pages on the browser. So HTML documents have two main content, or the things which are the content and the tags that format it for proper display on the pages. This is a universal language which allows an individual using special code to create web pages to be viewed on the internet. And the latest is HTML5. You don't need any other Flash player or anything. It is by itself, it has contributed and get rid of those dependencies, and many other things are being added to HTML. This is the simplest HTML code. You can start with HTML. This is the ending HTML. Then head, whatever you write here, head means like the titles and everything. And then the body, this is where you type your message. And when you display it, you'll just see on the web page, this is this line. This is my message to the world. And now the hyperlink. Hyperlink is the link which takes you to some other page. So hypertext link is a special tag that links one page to another page, or resources also, not even page. It can link you or take you to certain resource. If you're going to click the link, the browser is going to jump to the link's destination. What are tags? Tags. These are tags. Content is placed in between HTML tags. These are two tags. As I said, this is just a formatting language. So it may format it in a certain way. It makes use of the less than and greater than symbol. This slash symbol, this less than, greater than for the starting tag, and for the ending tag you have a slash, which is the closing tag. For instance, this is an example. So in HTML, a tag tells the browser what to do. So when you write an HTML page, you enter tags for various reasons: to change the appearance of the tags, to show the graphic, and to make a link to another page. Do all HTML tags come in pair? No. There are certain tags where you don't want this starting and closing. You just need one. Like this BR. BR tag is for line break. So there is a simple or single HTML tag that does not need a closing tag. There are single tags also. These are image tag. You don't need to do this image, right? Just have to say image and BR also. There are various. What are some of the common lists that can be used when designing a page? List is very important. See, this is also a list. You want to list them like this. You want to list them like this, or say like this. So you can insert any or a combination of the lists which are here: ordered list, unordered list. These are ordered because they are numbered. Unordered means they are not numbered. You'll use some bullet or something. Definition list also, menu list, directory list. So each of this list type make use of different tags. You need to compose them. How do you insert a comment in HTML? The comment is like this. You start with a less than sign, then you have an exclamation, then you have two hyphens, you can say. And once you are done with all your comment, again two hyphens, and then the greater than sign. So HTML comments begin with this, ends with this, and it does not contain this or this anywhere in the comment. Please understand. You don't put anything inside this. So comment in HTML begins, and this is a simple example, a sample comment. So this will be a comment, and this comment means the browser which is going to interpret this HTML, is going to ignore this, whichever is inside these two symbols, combination of symbols. Do all character entities display properly on all systems? No. There are some character entities that cannot be displayed when the operating system that the browser is running does not support the characters. So when that happens, these characters will be displayed as simple boxes. What is image map? Image map lets you link to many different web pages using a single image. A single image you can link to various different pages. So you can define shapes in images that you want to make part of image mapping. What is the advantage of collapsing white spaces? White spaces are these. See, you don't see anything here. You just write the character. Between this sum and character there is a space. This is a white character. Backspace, tab, all these are white spaces, which is not seen. They are graphic characters. So white spaces are blank sequence of space characters, which is actually treated as a single space character in HTML. And because the browser collapses multiple spaces in a single space, you can indent lines of text without worrying about multiple spaces. So even if you have multiple spaces, HTML is going to take them only for one. So this enables you to organize the HTML code into much more readable format. Can attribute values be set to anything, or are there specific values that they can accept? Some attribute values can be set only to predefined values. Other attributes can accept any numerical value that is going to represent the number of pixels or for a size. How do you insert a copyright symbol on a browser page? If you want to insert a copyright symbol, you need to copy it, or you need to type &copy or then semicolon or &#169 in an HTML file. This is how you're going to add the copyright symbol. How do you create links to sections within the same page? For that, these links can be created using a A tag. This A stands for anchor, with referencing through or referenced through the use of the number hash symbol. For instance, you can have one line as say A, H reference, this is the reference basically, and you can have a hash topmost, and this back to top. So if you click on this back to top, it is going to take you to the top, which will result in the word back to top appearing on the web page, and you'll see a link to a bookmark named topmost. So you then create a separate tag, command line, say A, and then you have a name, anchor name is equal to topmost, and somewhere on the top of some same web page, so that the user will be linked to that spot when he is going to click this back to top link as suggested here. Is there any way to keep list elements straight in an HTML file? You can use this indents. You can keep the list elements straight. So if you indent each sub-nested list in further than the parent list, then that contains it, you can at a glance determine the various lists and the elements that it would contain. If you see a web address on a magazine, to which web page does it point? Every web page on the web can have a separate web address. So most of these addresses are relative to the topmost web page actually. And the published web address that appears within, say, magazine typically points to the topmost page, that is the index page. And from this top level page, you can access all of the page within the website. What is the use of using alternative text in image mapping? When you use this alt or alternative text, and when you are using image maps, it can easily become somewhat confusing and very difficult to determine which hotspots correspond to which links. So you can use this alternative text, which lets you put a descriptive text on each hotspot link so that you can understand it better. Do older HTML files work on new browser? Yes. HTML5 or the latest one, they have backward compatibility. So older HTML files are compliant to HTML standards, and most of the files work on a new browser. Some features may not work, but they will work. They'll be seen actually. Does a hyperlink apply to text only? No. Hyperlink apply to text, they apply to images. That means you can convert an image also to a link that will allow you to take you to another page when the image is actually clicked. And just surround the image with this AH reference and then end it with this anchor end, the /a tag combinations. If the user's operating system does not support the needed character, how can this symbol be represented? In case when the operating system does not support a particular character, it is still possible to display the character by showing it as an image instead. So you can use an image. This is the way. How do you change the number type in the middle of a list? This is a list tag which includes two attributes or two properties, a type and a value. So the type attribute can be used to change the numbering type for any list item, and the value attribute can change the number index. This is how you're going to work with this. What are style sheets? Style sheets. You will be knowing about cascading style sheets shortly. I'm going to tell you about that also. Style sheets will enable you to build consistent, transportable, and well-defined style templates. Everywhere you want the same stuff to be seen. So these templates can be linked to several different web pages, making it easy to maintain and change the look and feel. Style sheets are basically how things look and the feel you have in all the pages which are within that site. What bullet types are available? With ordered lists, you can select to use a number of different list types, including the alphabetical, the Roman numerals. So the type attribute for unordered lists can be set to disk, the square, and a circle. How to create multicolored text in a web page? So to create a text with different colors, you can just use font color, and this color you can give, ending up with font tags for every character that you want to apply color. So you can use this tag combination as many times as you want, surrounding a single character or an entire word also, entire sentences. Why are there both numerical and named character entity values? See, the numerical values are taken from the ASCII values for the various characters, but these can be difficult to remember. You cannot remember these numbers very easily. So because of this, the named character entity value are also created to make it easier for web page designers to use. Write a HTML table sequence that outputs the following: 50 pieces 100 500, 10 pieces 550. So you need to have a table like this, and for this you have how many rows? You can have 2 rows and 4 columns, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Right, here you'll see 50, 10, likewise. So the table you will start, this is your first row, so start with the table row and end a table row here. This is your first row. Then start a second row and end the second row, and then end the table. Now you want to place the data inside this. So there are 4 data, so you have to use TD, 4 TD for that. Or if you want to place it in this 50 PCS in one, you can just ignore this and you can have just 3 columns. So TD stands for TD data, table stands for table, TR for table row, and TD stands for table data. 50 PCS will be first table data, this 100 will be second table data, and 500 will be third table data, and likewise for the second row. 10 pieces, 5 and 50. What is the advantage of grouping several checkboxes together? These checkboxes, they don't affect one another, but grouping checkboxes together helps to organize them. This is just for organization. So check buttons can have their own name and do not need to belong to a group. A single web page can have many different checkboxes or group of checkboxes. What will happen if you overlap set of tags? So if 2 set of HTML tags are overlapped, only the first tag will be recognized. Please understand, only the first tag will be recognized. You will recognize this problem when the text does not display properly on the browser screen. What are applets? Applets. You see the application, you know about the application. The small application are nothing but applets. Like you have pig and you have piglets. So apple, applets. So applets are small programs that can be embedded in your web pages to perform some specific functionality like computations, animations, information processing. And applets are written using the Java language. What if there is no text between the tags, or if a text was omitted by mistake? Will it affect the display of the HTML file? If there is no text between the tags, then there is nothing to format, so no formatting will appear. Some tags, especially tags without a closing tag like this E and ing, do not require any text between them. Is it possible to set specific colors for table borders? Yes. You can specify a border color using style sheets, but the colors for a table that does not use this style sheet will be the same as the text color. How do you create a link that will connect to another web page when clicked? For that, as I just suggested in the earlier questions also, you have to use this anchor and href and this site. So to create a hyperlink or link that connect to another web page, we use the href tag, and the general format of this is A, this is anchor, href, that is the hyperlink reference, is equal to site, whichever site you want to link when you press this text, and you end it with A. And you replace this site with the actual page URL that is supposed to be linked to when the text is clicked. What other ways can be used to align images and wrap text? Tables can be used to position text and images. Another useful way to wrap text around an image is to use this CSS, cascading style sheet, that is the style sheets. Can a single text link point to two different web pages? No. A tag can accept only one single href attribute, and it can point only to one single web page. What is the difference between the directory and menu list and the unordered list? See, the key difference is that directory and menu list do not include attributes for changing the bullet style, but the other does. So this is the first part of the top questions in HTML. We'll be taking a few more of these. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.